Hi, my name is Cameron Saucier, Monday morning editor following the 2016 election. The Iowa caucus on February 1st is quickly approaching. That means candidates are making one final push in the unpredictable early voting state. The Iowa caucus is noteworthy because, since 1972, it's been the first electoral event for the presidential nominating process. For Democrats, the state has chosen the party's eventual nominee since 2000. But for the past two election cycles, Republican candidates who won Iowa's caucus haven't won the national election. For instance, former Senator Rick Santorum of Pennsylvania won Iowa's caucus back in 2012. And in 2008, former governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, won the state. Santorum and Huckabee are in the election 2016 race, although both are struggling in the polls. Iowa's caucuses are different than typical primaries. Its caucuses are often hosted in small, neighborhood venues. This gives Iowans the opportunity to discuss the candidates in an informal setting. Residents will vote on delegates based on their affiliation with presidential nominees. In other words, if a voter supports Donald Trump, she'll vote for Trump's delegates in a two-step process. In step one, Iowans meet in over 1,000 precincts to vote for delegates to represent them in their county conventions. In step two, delegates elected to the county conventions will then elect delegates to represent Iowans in the national conventions. Those conventions are for both the Republican and Democratic national committees. Only about 1% of the nation's delegates are chosen by Iowa, but the state still serves as an early indication of both parties' nominees. Each political party has a different strategy for winning Iowa. The Republicans' goal is to attract Iowa's evangelical population. According to Edison Research, 28% of Iowa's population are Christian evangelicals. Although that's only slightly above the national average, thousands of these evangelicals participate in Iowa's GOP caucus. According to the two latest polls from NBC and the Wall Street Journal, Ted Cruz currently leads the Republican field in Iowa. Since the beginning, Cruz has marketed himself to evangelical voters.
Were it not for the transformative love of Jesus Christ, I would have been raised by a single mom without my father in the household. God's blessing has been on America.
He's made Iowa one of his primary stumping grounds.
Our country began with a fundamentally different proposition: that our rights do not come from government, they come from Almighty God.
But at 28%, he's only 4 percentage points ahead of Trump among likely Republican caucus goers. And like Cruz, Trump is also heavily campaigning in Iowa.
First, if you people don't do what you should do, because I'm telling you I'm going to make America great again, but if you don't do it, I will still love the folks in Iowa. Maybe not. No.
Trump actually leads among the wider Republican electorate in Iowa by 2%. But this represents Republicans that aren't necessarily registered for the Iowa caucus. Even so, Trump is counting on turning his explosive rallies into votes at the Iowa caucus. He frequently tells his Iowa supporters to register for the caucus, hoping he can draw new voters into the electoral process. For the Democrats, frontrunner Hillary Clinton finished 3rd place in Iowa's caucus in her 2008 run. This time around, she's tried to build a stronger political network in the state. Still, she only has a 3% lead over Bernie Sanders among likely Democratic caucus goers in Iowa. Clinton has a much wider 6% lead over Sanders among the broader Democratic electorate in Iowa. In recent weeks, Clinton has used her husband, former President Bill Clinton, to stump for her. It's unclear whether this has helped or hurt Hillary. With Bill's history of sexual affair and assault accusations, many think it's drawing unnecessary controversy to her campaign. For Sanders, a win in Iowa could give him the momentum he needs to upend Clinton in New Hampshire. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to MoneyMorning.com for more election 2016 news coverage.